Now that we've taken some time to understand communion, to understand the context, the next question is simple but powerful. What is communion? Because if we misunderstand this moment, we can either reduce it to routine, reduce it to practice, or elevate it into something Scripture never intended it to be. So to understand communion, we don't start with Corinth or the problems with the Corinthian church. No, we go back to Jesus. Luke 22:19 says, "And he took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, 'This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me.'" Communion is first and foremost remembrance. It is a moment where we intentionally pause and center ourselves again on what Jesus has done. The bread represents his body given for us, and the cup represents his blood, which is poured out for us. This is not just symbolic in the sense of being empty. It is symbolic in the sense of being deeply meaningful for us. Communion is not a ritual that we perform out of habit. It is not a religious box that we check, and it is not a moment reserved for those who feel spiritually qualified. Communion is a moment of remembrance. It's a moment of reflection. It is a moment of realignment. Communion brings us back to the center, back to the cross, back to the sacrifice, and back to the truth that everything we have is simply because of Jesus. Paul reinforces this in 1 Corinthians 11:26 when he writes, "For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes." Communion is not just something we receive. Communion is something we proclaim. Every time we take it, we are declaring Jesus gave his body, Jesus shed his blood, Jesus made a way when there was no way, and only he could make that way. So when we come to the table, we're not just remembering something that happened centuries ago. No, we are participating in a moment that keeps us grounded at the cross, grounded in Jesus, grounded in what still matters. And once we understand what communion is, then the next question is, who is it actually for? Because the table was never meant to be confusing. It was meant to bring us back to Jesus, and to do that every single time.